Holiday Inn, right?
Yes! Chingy!
Yeah. I'm like, I know what
Why
that
is that in my head?
I know what that is.
So that we can do our intro, because it's rolling.
Okay. So we're just like dancing for the whole time there.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our third Saturday vlog.
Yes.
Third.
Wow.
Episode 3, baby.
Episode 3.
And I feel like we're doing real shit.
We should know whether we're syndicated or not now.
Yeah. So it is May 15th, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. We just ate breakfast and we danced a little bit. We got our pump up music on, and I feel like I'm ready to go because I did not do anything this week. Well, that's a lie.
Yeah, I didn't do anything this week.
I wrote a paragraph. Yes. I was supposed to finish chapter 5 by Tuesday.
Chapter 6.
And what ended up happening is Monday I was just emotionally drained, got my period, and just we weren't functioning.
I think we both didn't consider that May might be just a busy month for both of us.
Yeah.
And we are entering I think a summer where we're going to be super busy. So I don't know if that's also in the back of my mind that I have all this stuff coming up.
Yeah.
That I'm
definitely
a little
I'm putting things off.
Same. So.
Yeah, so it definitely was not the week that I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my husband's birthday was this week, so I did spend time with him, obviously. So that was
headaches all week.
Yeah, that too. And then last night I intended to write this chapter last night, and then a friend was like, I've been having a really rough week. Do you want to just go out and get drinks? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. I haven't done that. I haven't been normal in forever.
No.
Let's go do it. So that's what we did. And now we're here. So
with nothing done.
With nothing done.
But hopefully maybe this week we can even do a couple nights with writing sprints or something like that.
Yes.
Get stuff done.
Yeah. I know some of my AuthorTube friends are doing tons and tons of sprints this week.
Yes,
I've been invited to
design.
Yes, I've been invited to co-host a lot. I don't know if I'll co-host, but maybe just jump in and actually get stuff done, because the nice thing is that we're drafting. So drafting is much better on a writing sprint than it is editing and stuff like that. So I feel like maybe we'll do something. But now we're here. We're still on chapter 5 and 6. So where we ended the last video, we're essentially picking right back up, and we're gonna see what we're gonna do. So right now, my chapter that I'm going to work on is she's just trying to clean and keep herself distracted. And that's about it.
Yeah, so we're really entering where stuff is going to start happening, and it's going to be entirely new. Because this was not part of our first draft.
A lot of the stuff that we'll be pulling from our original manuscript actually comes in later. So a lot of that stuff is still going to be used, but
it's just going to be later in the story, because we're actually building up the why of that stuff a lot more at this point.
Yep. And I think that it's a good thing, because I really liked it and what we created in the story that it was in. I don't think we just lost a lot of the reasonings.
Yeah. I don't think we realized how much we fully fleshed out her world in our heads, at least, and between talking to each other, that we weren't able to really put in the book, because you can't put everything in a book. It doesn't work that way.
And also
we're
because
not all Tolkien, we can't go on for pages and pages and pages about lore and myth and legend, because that doesn't fit for most novels.
And also being a debut,
it's just not.
We don't have the word count, and then trying to mash together different storylines as a debut.
Exactly, we had a ton of worlds. So you think about when you read a normal fantasy novel, you have world building, because it's in a world entirely different than yours. So you do need to know at least the basis of how is their world set up, what are the governing laws in their world, what's the magic system. We had 4 of those we were trying to mesh together, so we really didn't have a ton of room to explain to you how any of that stuff was happening and why that stuff was happening. Where I think out of all of the worlds we had, this one was the most fleshed out in our head. We had an entire governing system, we had a class system, we had a big magic system that we really didn't delve into too much, because this was the only magic user we really mentioned.
Yep.
And now we just, we have the room to actually explore those things. So that's why a lot of the beginning of it is going to just be new stuff.
Yes. And I am excited, because if this works out, and it does work out as its own novel, I'm really excited at the prospect of going into the other stories that we tried to mash together and doing the same thing.
Yeah, letting them kind of bloom on their own.
Because a lot of the worlds, like we actually said, like one storyline that we had was so strong in its own with another character. And like the dynamic of like the character and like kind of like the villain character as well as these other characters, and we're like, we can literally just combine those two and just focus on those because really, like, again, we're making this shit up as we go. It's our world. If we wanted to combine like initially like the 2 magic lands, like we can do that. And then we can always go back and do more of an urban fantasy with the original concept that we had, because that's also a good concept. But I think we really just had
we had 3 books.
We had 3 books that were not meant to be together, that we really tried to put together. And this is, I think, a good decision on our part.
I agree.
So, and I'm excited because I think all of the characters deserve their own story, and we would never be able to put them together.
I think Demetria's theme was so much different than everyone else's, and I didn't realize that until we actually started writing and we started really delving into like her government.
Oh yeah.
The vague like social statements that we were making. And you know, I think that I feel at least we're writing that line of, this is just what it is, and your opinion on whether that's right or wrong is your opinion. But the other places didn't have that as much. They didn't have that like very strong like social justice and when is the time to stand up and when is the time to just kind of, you know, try to better what you have and when is the time to burn it down. Like when is your government overstepping kind of thing. So I think that it actually kind of we didn't let that be as big of a thing as I think it deserved to be, because we didn't stay there long enough.
Yep, exactly. And I love this too, because as much as like a lot of things have changed, her like world has been least changed since we were 18.
No, I think we had a very strong concept right from the beginning of what we wanted Terra to be. You know, we wanted it to be very secluded. We wanted it to be very dirty urban.
Dirty urban, yeah.
Dirty urban. It's like
think of Ketterdam.
Yeah, it's Keith Urban's like third cousin. Dirty urban is the one they don't talk about. Saturday, it's early. This is my peak. Anyway, no, it's very much, there's a big juxtaposition. So think Ketterdam, think even Hunger Games to an extent. I mean, we grew up in the peak of all of those dystopian novels. So neither one of us are going to deny that they had an influence, but a big juxtaposition between the upperlands and like the class that kind of has a foot up on everyone else, and the lower classes where, you know, technology is, they're definitely in like I feel like a technological evolution where they're constantly thinking of new things, but also you think that they're secluded, they don't really talk to other countries too much, so they don't have that influx of ideas coming in, so they're really only focusing on things that are helping their city versus bringing in, there's not global culture, there's just them.
I was gonna say, I think the best thing to like picture this novel as is like the Hunger Games, where like the capital is kind of secluded and like bougie, because we have like our city where is walled and kind of cut off, and like we are gonna dive into like why it's walled, and it's not the stereotypical like we're protecting like from outside, because there is a world outside, but like
and they're all aware of it,
and the people just don't know really much about it because no one's been able to leave the city.
No, there's a fair bit of space in between settlements, I guess you would call them. So we have like the Hunger Games aspect meets
kind
of divergent a little bit. They are like walled off, but they're aware that they're not the only people on the planet.
Meets X-Men. Set in Ketterdam.
That's a weird baby.
It is a weird baby, and I'm hoping it's adult.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's an interesting concept, and not to say that it's never been done before, but I do think we're doing a little bit of a different twist on it.
Hopefully, I mean, that's kind of like the best part about writing, right? And that's what you're looking for in writing, is to take a concept that's already there and tweak it a little bit so that it's new. And that's what we're trying to do. So, on that note, I feel like we probably should start writing since we haven't done anything this week. So, all right. So let's get to it.
Okay.
Yes. So I was trying to think, because initially I was going to like just make this like more, well, I mean, it is kind of a montage, but I'm like, we can really get a sense of her by what's in her apartment. So I was like, actually, like, let me play around with this a little bit.
Because I don't feel like she has a ton of shit.
No.
Because she can leave it at the drop of a hat.
And almost that's kind of what I want to like make it. Like she literally like she doesn't have like she has a bed on the floor with like a laundry basket, like 2 laundry baskets, like one clean clothes, one's empty. She has like her coffee table and a couch, and that's really it. So like some like food containers being left on the table. So like it doesn't really take her that long. No. And then so like after she does that, she's like, well, I guess I'll cook. That's kind of what I was trying to go for.
Yeah. Okay. Why is that me though? She had to smack the dust off. I do that all the time because like I just put it away and I'm like, now you're dirty and now you're dead to me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You're like, I am not writing. Yeah, no, I definitely think there is one man in the upper limbs that she only frequents just to
she like has slept with him on more than one occasion because you have an awesome bathtub with Jess. And you don't really like it, so I just, you know, afterwards, because I did most of the work, you let me soak in it.
I feel like there's also probably, I feel like too, like this man's probably bisexual because like he also has all of the like,
the luxurious,
and
like I said, I feel like you're not really super my type. However, your bathtub, sir.
Yes.
What else did she have food-wise? She had the pork, right?
Cheese.
And cheese, right?
Some sad-looking fruit, I think. Or vegetables.
Bag of tomatoes.
Bag of tomatoes, yep. Technically fruit.
I'm going to actually, like, make her try to be creative and put the tomatoes on top of the pork.
Okay.
Because I just feel like she also doesn't know how to cook.
No.
So, like, this is fancy.
Yeah. And then, like, trying to figure out how to portion it because she doesn't really have containers or anything.
No.
I also, I still love that she punched her fucking stove and cut her.
I just love that she gets mad at inanimate objects so much. It's probably one of my favorite qualities about her where she, and I feel like she's one of those people that she gets angry, she flares, and then she's just over it.
Yep. Yeah. Also her plotting to take someone's lavender oil.
Is that what you just put?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a thief.
Like, I cleaned, I deserve this bath now, and my neighbor's gonna give you what I need.
No, Demetria, that's not gonna work. That pork's gonna be gross. It's gonna be so gross, because in my head, she just put it in a thing, put the tomato on top, and went, that's it.
Yep.
That's what we got.
Alright, I already said that she thought she saw a shadow earlier in the day.
Okay.
So I feel like she's going to pull the crackers out and the cheese, and she's going to have herself a snack now. And she's going to think, because she's sitting at her kitchen table, so I feel like she should think someone's there. But, like, her blinds are open, so she's like...
You're wait, what the hell?
What? Yeah. Okay. I don't think that's the right wording. Like, grammatically, I don't think that's correct. But so I just figured, like, fuck it, I'm going to go back.
Okay, we'll go back, we'll make it, you know, we're getting the idea out, that's it.
Yeah.
The continents.
Yep.
Yep.
I feel like she's gonna undo her apartment now.
Oh, you know, because Akila knows her.
So I was just gonna say,
so like, because I mean, honestly, logistically, that would also be my first thought. Was she came and she visited, she kind of chastised me.
Yeah.
And now I think somebody's in my apartment. What did that bitch think I took? That's still in here.
Yeah. So I also think she like in her because they have technology, and I do feel like Akila would have those things squirreled away. So she probably thinks something's planted in her apartment now. So now she's gonna
easily, yeah, that's literally how she's gonna spend the next day.
Yep. And now she's gonna tear the apartment out. So I'm gonna say like this is gonna take her.
Oh, because I think this bitch is literally starting at the ceiling, working her way over and taking everything apart.
Yep. And then I feel like at the end she's gonna be like, "That's where we can end. I need to get out of this house."
Yeah, because there's nothing in here. I've gone through everything. So now, not only am I sick of seeing these 4 walls, but now I'm also like, why? If it wasn't her, because she would have left something. If it wasn't her, who the hell was in my house?
Yes. Yep. And again, she has nothing. Like nothing was missing. Yeah.
Nothing was missing. I'm aware that there's nothing really valuable in here for someone to take.
But if someone was desperate and needed like
someone
clothes
was desperate,
or
like they would have taken clothes, they would have taken the food. Like somebody that was really hungry would have taken the food. Somebody that was super, super desperate might have even just taken like, you know, some of my clothes or something that they could have sold. Like you can still sell stuff. Like there's nothing of high value, but they would have taken something.
Yep.
I'm not living in a hovel.
Yeah. Like, all right, because I think then because we're at 5 pages now, so I feel like if you tie
it is a fairly slow chapter, so yeah. So
I feel like so okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this little tidbit because we pretty much
we covered everything.
Yep. Yeah.
She stays fairly calm with anyone else. It's Akila because I think that there is that coming back to I was young, you were supposed to keep me and the people I cared about safe, and you didn't.
Yeah, and also because I feel like there's such a tension too, because Akila was. I think like Dimitri almost looked at her as like a mother figure.
No, I was just
because she was betrayed by her
mother,
own parents.
Yeah, it was a mother role. So every mother role I've ever had has betrayed me.
Nook and cranny.
Got it.
So
no,
like,
literally, we created a caged animal with the trauma we gave her.
Yeah. Because I was just thinking, like, what professions would men have? Especially in the dockside. So I feel like he's probably going to be a dockside worker. So maybe
I literally have that.
A fish or...
Yep. What colors are the insignia? Because I know we said council members had gold thread.
Yep. Okay, so let's see. I almost feel like opposite, like that, like the upper class would have like more like darker colors, whereas like the cargo workers
show up too.
Exactly, and whereas like the fishermen and them, I feel like they would have white, almost as like a slap in the face, like it gets dirtier easier, and we want you to know who you are. And also, let's not every bisexual person has to be very sexual and outgoing.
No, but
also it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing if you are a sexual being.
Yes. Because a lot of people try to make them overly sexual, but at the same time, they're out there. Normal life.
It's a spectrum.
It is a spectrum.
Everything else.
Which is probably like one of the things from the Cove. Which, and another thing I feel like Akila can hold over her. Like that device on your wrist is not your property.
Yeah, because it's a HAPLYN.
Alright guys, it is noon and we both have some engagements that we're going to, so we are gonna recap and call it a day. So we didn't quite finish the fifth chapter, but we got a really good idea of where it's going now.
Yeah, I think we have a really good direction, and we also built some of the stuff in the world that I think we forgot we needed to build before we went any further. So that took a couple minutes, but no, we got a decent amount done.
Also, we did give her a friend, which was much different than
completely unexpected.
Yes. I love him.
Oh, he's great. We have such a good character now.
Yes. And also I think like Dimitri needed him because initially like one of her reasons for leaving the world when we originally had our first idea was that she had no ties to anyone. So I do feel like part of her, like with the potential of her leaving the city in like the end of the book, it almost gives it a more of a stake that like she does have people here.
I don't think they're super close in the sense that she trusts him with everything, but also like I do think she has ties in this world, which just makes sense. She grew up in this world, obviously.
Exactly.
She would know people.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to give her that friend and also just have someone to be like a confidant with her and possibly like an ally when the book gets going.
Starts blowing up. Yep.
So I'm excited for that. So we pretty much have everything. We just have to tie in a memory that we are taking from our original book. So we're putting that memory back in because she's had a long week of memories happening to her because of the date and the time. So she's also being flashed back to something that happened in her childhood.
Yep.
Which will tie in later as well in the book. So we just have to add that in, and then chapter 5's done. And then chapter 6, we moved something that we were going to have in chapter 5 into chapter 6.
Yeah,
and we're tying in something that actually is also from the original manuscript. Yeah. With the whole bathroom. We have a bathroom scene.
Yeah. We always have scenes in bathrooms.
Yes,
People like it apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But so honestly, chapter 5 is probably going to be or chapter 6 is going to be mostly written as well. Yeah.
So no, we're progressing. We got this.
Yep. So
I feel good about today.
And I'm also kind of in the mood. I know, as I mentioned already, most of my AuthorTube friends have streams this weekend at some point in some capacity. So I think I'm going to use it to my advantage and actually keep up this momentum because I'm feeling creative right now. And I'm really liking this feeling, especially because I think the sun is out and...
Yeah, I think writing on the porch is a good idea. As you can see, we moved, obviously.
Yeah. So. And I think today, after I go out for lunch for my husband's birthday, I'm gonna mow the grass and then I'm gonna put my hammock out, I think.
Ooh, good call.
So then I can write out on my hammock. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So anyway, that's episode 3. Thanks for joining us. As always, I have both of our information down below if you guys don't follow us on social media. I know Kate doesn't really post too much on her social media.
I don't have too much on social media right now, and you know.
But I do. So either way, go follow both of us and keep up with our
Maybe
endeavors.
That'll change now that the summer's starting.
Yes.
I'm usually more inspired in the summer.
For sure. Yeah, all the nice summer pictures. And
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
But otherwise, thank you again for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.